I'm Christopher Davitt, and I'm talking about oral vaccines, keeping it simple. So I'm going to start off by talking about, about two diseases, cholera and ETEC. And ETEC is often called traveler's diarrhea or Montezuma's revenge. And they're spread by bugs that infect water and food, and you take in this food then without knowing. The bacteria make their way to your gut, and this is where they really turn nasty. They produce a toxin, and that toxin hijacks the cells in your intestine, gets them to dump a huge amount of water straight into your gut, and you end up with about 30 litres of diarrhea in 24 hours. If you can't get rehydration, you'll die from this. And as you can see, in a lot of these countries, sanitation really isn't great. Toilets are where kids play and drink from, so you get this vicious cycle of disease. About half the world is affected by this illness, and a huge amount of the areas that are affected are actually really popular tourist destinations. So it could end up ruining more than just your holiday. So if we can figure out a way of targeting the bacteria itself, or targeting the toxin, we can stop the people getting diarrhea in the first place. This diarrhea won't end up in the drinking water. The bacteria can't infect food and water, and so they don't infect other people. So you can arrest this whole cycle. So the most effective healthcare mechanism since the 17th century has been vaccination. We've eradicated smallpox in the Western world. We've eradicated other diseases too. We're well on our way with polio. And even diseases such as whooping cough, which my mother suffered from, are now no longer really an issue for most modern children. And taking vaccines a step forward is oral vaccination. And oral vaccination has many advantages over injectable vaccines. First of all, they're a lot cheaper to make. You don't have to make them as sterile. They're a lot easier and quicker to administer. So in the event of a disaster or a war, you can just quickly hand out pills or drops. There's no need for doctors, so it becomes much easier again. No discomfort because there's no needles. And because there's no needles, they're a lot safer. You don't have to worry about bloodborne contaminants. There are a couple of cons, a couple of challenges. First of all, the stomach acid can destroy the vaccine. And the gut immune system is very difficult to activate, which if you think about it is quite good because you can't have your gut flaring up every time you have a cheeseburger. So we thought about how we can address these challenges in an integrated manner, and we looked at the single multiple pill, or SmPill, simple. They're about 1 millimeter big. And if you look at the structure, they have kind of this honeycomb structure, a bit like a Cadbury's Crunchy. So the way this pill is structured is you have this red outer layer, and this red outer layer remains really stable in the stomach and breaks down in the intestine. You've got all these tiny little droplets in a gelatin ball, and in the droplets is really where the magic happens. We put in the dead bugs that cause cholera and ETEC, and we genetically modify those to be super vigilant to the immune system, and we put in a toxin molecule. And we also put in a little trick molecule that we use to stimulate the immune system. So the way these pills work is quite simple. They protect the vaccine as it's going through the stomach, much like an Iron Man suit. Using the thickness of this layer, we can deliver it to the right place and go where no oral vaccine has gone before. And when you get release of these tiny little droplets, it's almost like a shotgun. You're definitely going to hit one part of the immune system. And then finally, we can use a little bit of a trickery to make the immune system think it's a live infection and protect you from the real thing if you ever do encounter it. Thank you very much.